Well, hey, we're live. Yes, we are. We're here, ready to talk about the market that's coming up next week. Happy Resurrection Day, right? Happy Easter, happy Bunny Day, happy 420, whatever it is that you celebrating today. Hopefully you're celebrating resurrection and not celebrating 420 so much. Not so much. Hopefully, hopefully you're celebrating resurrection and not celebrating 420. Let me tell the people that we're here. So the YouTube slash at educator to trader. Yeah, hopefully you're seller you got your focus in the right place and you're doing the right thing today, even though it just happened to fall on the same day. Hopefully you know what you should be doing, right? Hopefully you in the right place and in the right mindset, right? Hopefully that's the case with you. But happy resurrection, happy Easter. Hopefully you spend some time with your family. Maybe you're even still with your family. I got to spend some time with my son this morning. He came over for breakfast. We had breakfast this morning. We did church yesterday. My church had a bunch of services Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They had the Easter service like multiple times. So we went yesterday. And then we had breakfast and stuff this morning. So that's how we celebrated resurrection, celebrated Easter. Those of us who are Christians, basically the entirety of our faith rests on the stuff that happened this weekend. We had Good Friday on Maudie Thursday, Good Friday, Saturday. He was going and getting the keys, and on Sunday he rose again. All those that's the gospel. That is the gospel. So everything that we hinge our faith on, basically the whole thing that our faith rests and resides on is based on the stuff that happened this weekend. So those of us who are Christians, this is you're up. You know how when it comes time for your you're on the stage, like you're up. This is it for you right now. So this is our big shine, right? So this is happy Resurrection Sunday. So this is where it all comes together for us. It ain't just about ham, even though Aldi had a really good price on hams for those who buy hams. And not sure why ham go with Easter, but it does seem to go. I didn't have ham. We had breakfast. We did have bacon, which I guess could be from the ham family. Yes, bacon could go from the ham family. We had bacon, and as my mama would call it, sausage. I'm not sure why and I would correct her. She never would say it right. Then when you would correct her, she would then say it right. But with the next time, she would still say it the way she wanted to. It didn't matter. People get older. They say stuff the way they want to say it, and you could correct them if you want to. And it's like, yeah, whatever. I'm as old as I want to be. I can say it the way I want to say it. Deal with it. Okay? All right. So I hope you all had a really good day and a really good weekend. Some of us had Friday off. I'm usually off on most Fridays anyway, but the market was closed on Friday. So we got a chance to take a break from the market on Friday. I was off work on Friday. Many of you were as well. I did go on a little stroll on Friday. I went on a walk and I took you all with me on a walk on Friday. If you didn't get to watch that, you can go to my YouTube channel. You're on my YouTube channel. Some of you are. Go to my YouTube channel and watch what to do. I think I said what to do on the weekend or what to do when the market is closed, something like that. I think is the title. It's the latest video that I did record while I was walking on Friday. We went for a walk about the 3 or 4 things that you should do when the market is closed or what to do when you have a day off, something like that. I think I did talk about the weekend. What do you do? Right? It was a really good just kind of time of me just talking while I was walking and sharing with you what you should do when the market is closed. What do you do with yourself when the market's closed? That's what I talked about. Go check it out if you didn't check it out. And then, of course, at the end, I was getting closer to my house. And when I'm closer to my house, the internet, my phone tries to connect to my home Wi-Fi and it gets all wonky. So I went ahead and ended the call like, oop, I knew this was going to happen. So peace out. That's what we did. So if you didn't watch that, go ahead and take a look. All right. I want to go on in. Let's go ahead and see what the market did last week. Let's talk about what we think it may do this week. And, put our trades list up. All the good stuff that we normally do on Sundays. We'll be here about 45 minutes. see what's going on. And then for those who are in my membership, we will go on from here into our charting call. All right. Okay, so this was last week. This was last week. This is a daily chart. So this is everything that happened on the daily chart. We got a few gaps that do need to be identified here. But from a weekly, so these are the 5 days of the week that we work with. We had a green, and then we had some reds or some oranges, as they say. We had some some oranges. These are all the gaps that were left behind. Actually, this one is not as big as that. Had some gaps left behind. Let's see if we've got any supports here. We do got this one here. Had a long wick from last Friday. And then we had a green day on Monday, but the rest of the days were all red days. We closed out at 52.82 on Friday. That's where we stopped there. We have some support down here in the 49 area. I guess if I was to put it on a smaller time frame, this is the daily, I probably could find that there's some supports inside of this big day from last Wednesday, the 9th. There's probably some supports hiding in there. I'm sure there are, absolutely. I'm pretty sure. But this is the week. So basically our week did a little consolidation. It really didn't do much as far as the week went. We popped up from the 52.51, went up to, I guess the high of this would be 54.59 was the high of this candle, and then came back down. It's just stayed in the zone all week. What will be called an inside week. Probably could be an inside. Let me see if I change it to a weekly, if it shows as an inside week. And I would possibly say yes. Okay, so this was the previous week. This was Monday, the week of the 7th, and this was last week. This would be called an inside week because it is inside of the previous week. For those who follow the strat numbering system for your candles, if you look at the strat, this would be classified as an inside week or a one week, because, no, don't do that. It's actually picking up and putting on no things. TradingView has updated their charting software. So when you click stuff, it just puts the last thing you asked for. Anyway, the previous week was a 2. And this past week was inside of that week. So it's called an inside week. Basically, it hasn't picked a direction. It's not higher than the previous week. It's not lower than the previous week. It's basically inside week, bouncing around, deciding which way it's going to go. Yeah. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Ward. And hey, Selena. How's everybody doing? So yeah, inside week, the SPX, SPY, ES all have to pick which direction they're going. And at this point, we don't have a direction as far as that goes. All right. That's what happened last week. We can look at, let me go back. I'm on the daily chart. Okay. I wanted to go look at SPY's going to look the same. So I can go straight to triple Q. No need to hang out and look at SPY. It's going to look just like SPX. That's what they do. They look just alike. And so does triple Q, actually. It looks the same way that SPY and SPX looked. Same thing. Pretty much got all inside week, inside of that previous week, this previous candle to be the candle from last Wednesday. All of this action since then is basically inside of that candle. And until we break out going in a direction, we're just basically chilling. All the moving averages here, not all of them, but the 20 and the 9 are both just kind of hanging out in here. The 50 is coming down towards it, but we're just basically cooling out, deciding which way we're going. Don't have a way. Don't have a direction. IWM, let's see what's going on with that. IWM looks a little bit different. Only a little. Basically, it's like a little tighter range, to be honest. It's still got the same look to it, where this was last Friday. Monday gave us gave us a hammer looking like it wanted to go up and didn't, right? So these were, we had a short week last week. It was OPEX, which may be why it looked so, things were consolidating for the week. People are closing positions, opening positions, kind of resetting. That could be what led to the fact that we didn't really go anywhere last week, that basically we stayed inside week. That could very well be the reason. There's always reasons. I won't call them excuses, but there are always reasons that somebody gives as reasons as to why things don't do what we think they're going to do. But IWM closed at 186.48 on Thursday. I keep saying Friday because for my mind, we closed on Friday, but we were closed. The market was closed on Friday, right? Hey, Lisa. So we didn't close on Friday. We were closed on Friday. We'll see what happens when the market opens up this week. See what it wants to do. See which way it wants to go. These things are still looking, honestly, as far as the moving averages go and the trend, they still do look bearish. There seems to be a little bit of leveling off, but they're still looking pretty bearish, right? The smaller moving averages have gotten flat. The 9 and the 20 have both gotten flat, but the 50 is still coming downwards. 50, the 100 and 200, the 200 is kind of flat, but they're still coming downwards and still fanned out pretty far. There's no crossover, no crossing over happening at this point. We're still just moving as we go. All right, let's look at what our earnings are doing coming up this week. Hey, Nina, the Navigator, how we doing? Happy Easter. Capital City is going to be Monday morning. Dynex, Wash, I'm not sure who they are. WASH, can't see this, very small. Guaranteed Bank and Trust, Comerica, HBT Financial, and the Bank of Hawaii. Still in the banks. We're kicking off the second quarter earnings season. Monday after close, AGNC, Berkeley, AZZ, MedPace, Metropolitan Commercial Bank, BOC Financial, FLXS, which is Flex Steel, is Monday after market closes. Wintrust, Calix, and Cathay Bank. All of those are Monday after close. Tuesday morning, we've got Verizon, GE Aerospace, Lockheed Martin. Some of these are probably anticipated. Lockheed Martin, I think, is wartime, is one of those wartime stocks, and seeing that we're dealing what we're dealing with, Lockheed Martin may be anticipated. RTX, Danaher, DHR, Quest Diagnostics. If you get any blood work done, Quest is the people, or any type of testing that's done with your stuff. Quest Diagnostics is in the mix somewhere. Elevance Health, Northrop Grumman, Kimberly-Clark, and Halliburton. That's all Tuesday before the market opens. Looks like Tesla has earnings on Tuesday after close. I bet a lot of people are anticipating that. Oh, goodness. I'm not saying anything about that, but those of you who are Tesla traders, Tuesday after market will have its say. Hey, Val. Enphase, ENPH, Intuitive is also Tuesday after market close. SAP, Capital One, Steel Dynamics, East West Bank, Range Resources, Baker Hughes, and Manhattan. Those are all Tuesday after close. Wednesday morning, Boeing. I think I saw something where there was an article mentioned that Boeing is pulling back the planes that were supposed to be sent to China. I guess they were either purchased or being sent to China for them to use, and those are being brought back. Boeing is bringing them back. I don't know what that's all about, but anyway, maybe something worth looking into. Boeing, AT&T, Vertiv, Amphenol, Philip Morris. Yep, I believe it's Philip Morris. Next Era Energy, NEE. Checkpoint is here. GE Vernova, General Dynamics, Virtu Financial. Those are all Wednesday morning. O'Reilly Auto Parts, Alaska Airlines, Chipotle. Has Chipotle split yet? Has Chipotle decided, CMG, have they decided that they're going to bring their prices down to a place where the rest of the world can get in on it? ServiceNow, IBM, Newmont, Lam Research, Century, Texas Instrument, and SANS. Every time I get to this screen, it's something about this earnings screen that makes me start yawning. I don't know why. Thursday morning, we've got American Airlines, Nokia, Freeport, McMoran, Copper. That says copper. Yes, it does. Copper and gold, maybe. Oh, FCX. Southwest Airlines, Merck, PepsiCo, Dow, Union Pacific, Tractor Supply, and Valero. Intel, INTC. Folks been waiting on Intel to get their act together. Perhaps they'll get moving after this. Alphabet, here we go. Woo woo. Google has earnings on Thursday after market closes. Celestica, T-Mobile, Agnico Eagle, Boyd, Skechers, DOC, Valley, which is another oil, Weyerhaeuser. I used to work for Weyerhaeuser. Actually, I worked for a company that was bought by Weyerhaeuser. We made diapers. Weyerhaeuser is a paper manufacturer, but the stuff that goes inside of diapers is a similar product that goes in diapers goes into Weyerhaeuser. Anyway, I used to work for them in Georgia. SLB, AbbVie, which is the pharmaceutical space, Phillips 66, SAIA, Colgate, Palmolive, Portland General Electric. Is that like another brand, another offshoot of GE? Like we got GE Vernova, GE Aerospace. Is Portland General Electric another offshoot of GE? Somebody needs to tell me that. I don't think I knew that. Portland General, and then it's electric company, or is it Portland General Electric? Interesting. Leondale, Basel, and Aventor, and Charter, and Centene. Some of these names I've not heard of, obviously. But this is all the people who was having earnings this here week. So we're kicking in to the season. Looks like Alphabet, so Google, Intel is anticipated. Got some flights coming up. Got some who those people? The dividend folks are coming along here. Boeing is coming in. Tesla, always anticipated, and a bunch of bank people. Kimberly-Clark, GE, Lockheed Martin. It's a few things here that's going to be of interest to some people. Few things here will be of interest. All right, let's go look at the VIX. China canceled the Boeing order. Ooh, that's interesting news, Tanya. I didn't know China said, we don't want it. We don't want it. And that probably was not a good thing because Boeing probably was a pretty good size order. Few dollars, I'm sure. As well as their beef and soybean order. We don't want that either. Oh, shucks. Okay. I'm moving on. The VIX is at 29.65. Now, I was thinking and actually was talking to my own mentor over the weekend. Shout out to TJ the Trader about the VIX and the environment that we're in. And are we going to be here a minute? 1819, when the VIX was around there, we thought it was unheard of. Or the VIX get up to 20, you just thought, oh no. Then we saw a couple weeks ago, VIX was up at 50, and I was, singing my song, I've never seen it. I really think, I really feel like TJ said it, and I agree completely that we're probably going to be in these 20s, these here 20s for a minute, that this is going to be the new normal. Probably going to be a new normal. This space here, the 20 to 30s, is probably going to be our new normal. So now we need to just get used to it. Get used to this is where we're probably going to be. And now we'll function in this space to just know that popping 50 and 100 points and is not going to be a crazy event anymore, where we would see SPX move up and down 100 points in a day was like unheard of. That's not going to be unheard of any longer. That's something I think we should, I won't say anticipate, but just know it's not going to be out of the norm. It's not going to be out of the norm. This week, Tesla and Alphabet report earnings amid markets tariff angst. China's U.S. envoy urges end to the trade war, but warns Beijing is ready to fight. I do not like it when the superpowers get the superpowering. A tariff-fueled price surge is coming. New Fed survey finds. Banks say the sky is not falling yet. I think I said that last week. First shockwaves of Trump's tariffs about to hit the world economy. While the latest stock market pullback feels right. I did see the other day some charging stations that were the EV Go. It wasn't just usually only ones you see are the Tesla charging stations. But I saw some EV go and was like, oh, look at y'all trying to be deployed around the city. I said, look at that. The Boeing jet returns to the U.S. from China, a victim of Trump's tariff wars. Chickens and pickup trucks are a trade war. I really like electric cars. These technologies make me love them. Okay, well. Whew. Okay, on we go. Let's go check out our calendar. That's where we'll go. Monday, tomorrow, 8:30, we're going to have FOMC member Goolsby will speak. 10 o'clock, we're going to have CB leading index, day one of the IMF meetings. What are IMF meetings? Due to meet after a range of global economic issues, including financial stability, monetary policy, the global economic outlook, and geopolitical risks in Washington, D.C. IMF is an International Monetary Fund is who's going to meet. They usually meet twice a year, it says, and they're attended by the representatives of IMF and the World Bank. The meetings are open to the press, and officials usually talk with reporters throughout the day. A formal statement covering policy shifts and meeting objectives is released after the meetings have concluded. Both the comments and statements can create market volatility. Okay, so tomorrow's day one of that. Tuesday, we've got FOMC member Jefferson speaking at 9, Harker speaking at 9:30. Richmond Market Manufacturing Index is at 10 o'clock. Day two of the IMF meetings. 2 o'clock, Kashkari will speak. 4:30 and 6 o'clock, market is closed, but we do have some stuff going on. Wednesday is our first red folder of the week. 9 o'clock, Goolsby speaking. 9:30, Waller is speaking. 9:45, we've got Flash Manufacturing PMI. That's 9:45, red folder, first red folder of the week. New home sales at 10 o'clock, day three of the IMF meetings. Crude oil inventories really is probably a 2-star or orange or red folder. Beige Book and Hammock will speak at 6:30. Thursday, we have another red folder before the market opens is 8:30. Core durable goods orders, existing home sales, IMF meetings, all day on day 4. Natural gas storage, FOMC member Kashkari will speak. Chipotle split 50-1 months ago. Thank you. I kind of thought I remembered a split happening. I really thought I did. As soon as I said, I was like, I think I remember a split. Friday, April 25th, revised University of Michigan consumer sentiments is at 10 o'clock, orange folder, and inflation expectations also at 10 o'clock on Friday. IMF meetings continue Friday and Saturday. All righty. Chipotle, well, Slim says that Chipotle split months ago. Let's go see what is, now that we're on this page and we brought it up again, let's go see. Chipotle price is at $48. Yep, that's definitely a split because it was in the thousands at one time. Wasn't it up there pretty high? It was. Okay, so we looked at our calendar there. Yes, we did. Thank you for that news, Slim B. I appreciate you sharing with us about that. Before we go much further, I'd like for you all, if you don't mind, to go and join me over on LinkedIn. Go and join me over on LinkedIn. I'm going to put the link in the chat, https. For those who, are on LinkedIn, y'all go ahead and join me over there, /company/educator-2-trader. Yep. Follow that link that's in the comments and go ahead and join me over there if you don't mind. All right. Let's bring to the stage last week, coming to the stage. Last week, my first 3 days with my SPX 0 DTE, we was on a nice little roll. We was doing great. OPEX was last week though. And we've talked in my community in the past about how we trade OPEX, about how we manage OPEX. Working it. Our trade was going so well. And then that last hour, price started falling down a bit. It was like, this trade might not hold up. So I thought we were going to get a pop right there at the end because we were right there near our strikes. I think I had like 52.85, 52.90. It ended up closing at like 52.82, just below my strikes. But it was enough to be a loss. But I had other trades going, so it balanced off the loss a little bit. I had other SPX trades because this captured the SPX for the week. So for the week, I was, going with a nice little, I was going real good. And then Thursday we took a loss. So the overall week, 27.36 was the overall weeks. I think I talked about this on my little stroll talk that I went on Friday that I took the people with me. So I mentioned this then. Yeah, and one of the things I said then was that even though we can trade SPX every day, it doesn't mean we have to trade. It doesn't mean we have to trade it every day. Talking to myself. Doesn't mean we have to trade it every day. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to. Now, for me, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm actually teaching all day at the university. So that in itself should be enough to give me pause. I did wait later in the day to enter these trades, which in itself is something I don't usually do if I can't. But all the things, it was a mixture of all the things. But this is how it went for the week. SPX 0 DTE results for the weeks. I try to be as transparent as I can be, because there are people who want you to be. It's like the more information you give people, the more information they want. So I'm as transparent as I can be, and because I can share with you, it's always great and fun to share when there's wins. It's not quite so fun to share when there's losses, but I try to be as transparent as I can be to make sure that, I share with you that wins don't happen every day. And anybody who tell you that they win every single day, they're lying to you, because nobody wins every single day. All right. It just does not happen. But this is us using our SPX 0 DTE strategy. We have a couple strategies that we use. We have one we use during the day. It includes Magic 8 Ball. It includes the PDT hack. We also have the SPX Playbook that is utilized in the afternoon, later in the day. That is still being promoted and sold and used. All those good things. HTTP spxplaybook.com is $27 over there. We had a bunch of people join last week when I was talking to you all about joining the membership. We had a bunch of people join the membership and they started making money last week. A bunch of people joined and started making money last week, right off rip. Listen, people joined and started making money almost immediately. Some people had to come in and learn some things, which is cool. That's what we're doing. You learn how to run it. You learn what the process is, what is the strategy, and then you go ahead and start making money after that, because the market ain't going nowhere. Okay, it ain't going nowhere. You can take your time, trade in your sim, practice, get comfortable with it all, and then move on from there. But some people who were already more comfortable with credit spreads were able to come in, pick up the strategy pretty quick and run with it. Now, if you said, I missed out, but I still don't want to miss out, I'm putting this link in the chat and you need to come on and come on with the come on, because we're moving forward. We're moving forward. We're moving forward without you. We're moving forward without you. So there's that. All right. There's that. Now let's move on. How did our trades list go last week? Our trades list, 5 for 5. 5 for 5. It was a short list, but all 5 of these were profitable. We traded Microsoft off this list as a community. We traded Microsoft. I think we entered it on Wednesday and closed it on Thursday. Actually, it could have closed on Wednesday. Some of the people in my community entered it on Wednesday, and the price on Microsoft moved so hard on Wednesday, they were able to close it the same day. And then those of us, me, who didn't want to use a day trade, waited till Thursday and closed it on Thursday. Fine with me. I also had IWM. We had IWM last week, and our IWM was profitable. I didn't have it on the list. I need to start putting that on there, because we really do trade IWM every single week. And we seem to be trading Microsoft every single week, because you're going to see it here in a minute on our chart, on our trades list again. So woo woo, 100%, 100%, 100%. It's only 5 trades. So all you need is 5. You need one good one, 2 good ones. The gold, Kraft Heinz, Microsoft Spy, and Boo. All of these were profitable. You could have entered these and let them run all week, because they all ended profitable after the week was up. Whoop, whoop. If you got in on some of this, blessings on you. Yes, we got some Microsoft money. It was good money too. And I don't know if anybody took the gold, but I know we got IWM and we got Microsoft money from last week. This is our list for this week. So our list for this week, we got gold and Mickey D's, gold and McDonald's. McDonald's had a pretty big drop last week. Or maybe it was just that day. I saw a big red drop. I think it was a 15 minutes. I think I was on a 15-minute chart and was like, what was this big drop? And it turned out I was on a 15-minute chart and not on the daily. So the drop really wasn't as big as I thought it was. But it did have a couple of down days. It had Tuesday and Wednesday of last week. It basically closed that gap that was created from the 11th to the 14th. There was a Friday, Monday gap that was created, gapped up. And third Wednesday closed that gap. And then Thursday went right on back up. Went right on back up into it. So McDonald's is still showing in the bullish area. It's kind of flattening at this point. The moving averages show it kind of flat. I'm looking this way because I can see the chart. It's looking kind of flat at this point, but we're going to talk about it. But McDonald's is one of the ones I like. Hey, Denise. McDonald's is one of the ones I like. Hey, Janae, you joined us. Welcome in. Gold and McDonald's, Cisco, DIA, Home Depot, Johnson & Johnson, and Microsoft are on our list for this week. We got seven strong, number of perfection. We can pull out some good ones this week. Well, we're going to get on to our charting call with my membership after this call is over. We go into the membership and do our Zoom call, talk about the coming week more perfectly, chart the things people want to chart. We talk about what people want to talk about, get our strategies together, and make sure that we're ready to rock and roll for the week. That's one of the benefits of being in the membership is you get to come into a place where you get to talk back to the coach. On Zoom, you can listen, but you can't talk back. When you get into the membership, you get to talk back. You get to ask your questions. You get to ask for a stock to get looked at. And when you're in those stocks or you get ready to enter those stocks, you can ask that same coach, same coach, what does she think about the trade that you're thinking about entering? These are the things that come along as benefits to being in the membership. Yay. Okay. Which ones do I see as my favorite? What do you think? For those of you who are watching along, what do you think? What do you have as what's your top trade on this list? Top trade on this list. Of course, I like Microsoft because Microsoft has been serving us nicely. Microsoft has served us well. Gold is doing its, let's see. Gold is up here in the all-time high. Watermelon sugar high. Yeah, gold is up here on 420. That's what gold is doing. It's doing some 420 action. So one must be careful. Let me see. Microsoft, McDonald's. Yep. Julie says same. Tim Dog says Microsoft. Ward says Microsoft and McDonald's. I really like gold, but we're at price discovery. And sometime when you're at price discovery, it hits something and fall out the sky for no reason that you can tell. It's like, well, I don't know why it fell out the sky. I just was tired of being up here, I guess. But, gold on Thursday gave a little doji. It's got a lot of wick on the bottom of it, but it's got a little doji going up there, right? Let me I'll switch to the other screen so everybody can see what I'm talking about. This is it as the kids say, it's giving a little bullish action, but it's doji-ish, quite doji-ish. Get us real big so everybody can see what I see. Can you see what I see? It opened and closed right there in the middle. It's got a lot of wick down here. That's pressure that it wants to go on up some more, but it's still stuck inside. It's stuck in the middle. Yeah, it's stuck in the middle. Janae is giving 420 action. It's high. Ooh, golden Cisco. Cisco is another good one that's on this list. We got some opportunities here. I think we've got opportunities. And you know what? To be honest, you could trade this entire list. You could trade this entire list for what? 100. If you traded one of each, 100 plus 250, that's what? 350, 450, 550, 6, 7, 800. 800 for $1,050. You can trade the whole list. If you want to trade one contract of everything, you could trade the whole list for $1,050 collateral minus premiums. You could trade the whole list. You could trade all 7 of those for $1,000 collateral. Subtract your premiums because you're gonna get money back when you trade this. You're gonna get them. You're gonna get money back, so it won't be $1,000. You'll get money back off all these trades, and you could get all of these using $1,000. You could trade all 7 of these. Yep. You could. We'll see what we're gonna do in our community. I'm sure we're gonna pick at least two or three. Dos or tres. Dos o tres. Yes. All right. That's what we got coming up this week. We'll go over these in our charting call after this. These are the strategies that we trade in my community. We trade weekly credit spreads, daily SPX and XSP. I keep saying I'm going to update this because it's SPX and XSP. Cash secure puts and covered calls. What are my thoughts on J&J? J&J. J. What are my thoughts on J&J? I don't have many thoughts. I am not an investment advisor, so I do not give investment advice. But what I do see here, let me switch chains. Let me switch so we can look together, and you can tell me what you see too. Because it's not just what I see, but what do you see? What do you see? Anybody who knows me knows I'm an educator, so I'm not just going to fish for you. I'm going to teach you to fish. What do we see? I see a bunch of moving averages that are all together now. All together now, which means we bringing it all to the middle, and with J&J got to figure out where we going. Where are we going? But we are, according to all the time frames, we do appear to be bullish. We've got a gap up here that is waiting to be filled. The gap is from 161 to 165. We've had a nice little run up here but the sellers pushed it back down. There is some resistance at 159, which is right where it popped up to and pushed back. So it's got a few headwinds. It's been a nice little recovery, though. This was a nice leg out. Nope, I don't want you to do that, TradingView. Yep, it's got another resistance at 161. I don't know. It's going to, all the moving averages are here together, and it closed above the 200. I'm on the daily, I believe. Yep. It closed above the 200, the 100, the 50. It closed above all those. So now that it's past them, you kind of got to see you're really going to need to see how does it move the next couple of days. Is it really going to hold past these, or is it going to reject? Is it going to reject those moving averages? Let me go turn on VWAP real quick, because VWAP might give us a little bit of insight into what it could possibly do. Let's do VWAP on the month. See if VWAP gives us a little more information. I'm going to turn off some, trying to get me into my good analysis on a YouTube call. We're above. So the buyers are back in control now that we've passed VWAP for the month. The buyers are back in control. There could be some more upwards movement. It might come back. VWAP is where it's going to try to pull back through. I think you need to wait. You need to watch a little bit to see. I think we're in buyer territory, that it's got, we're bullish, but you got to see all the moving averages. Like I said, all the moving averages are together. And all those moving averages get together. See how everybody's in this one daily candle. Everybody in the 9-period moving average is turning up. So is the 20. The 200 is right here in the middle of this candle, and it closed above it. The 100, the 50, it's closed above all of those. So it's looking like it may want to keep going up, but definitely it will be worth a watch. It will be worth a watch. For us, it's on our bearish list. It's on our bearish list, and that just is because generally we use the 50-period moving average, but I do see that as of Friday. Let me see if I put it on the weekly chart. It's still in that same area, yeah. It would deserve a watch. It would deserve a watch. What did I say was the strike that I gave it? I gave it 162, so I'm putting us up here above the add back to the stage. Remove, add. Okay. 162 is up in this area, is our strike up in here. Puts us up into the gap. There's some resistance up in here as well. Yepper. All right. On to the next thing. Talked about our strategies, credit spreads, cash secure puts, covered calls. Those are the things. We use the options, contracts, money. Use that to go and do cash secure puts or to buy shares with it, because the shares is the asset. What we're looking to do here is to generate and to purchase assets, and assets are the stocks. So we're looking to acquire assets. We're using options money to acquire assets. I was just talking about the doji, and it just turns out I'm right here at this Candlestick Mastery calendar. And this month we are talking about the doji. And the candle I was talking about is this one right here in the middle. What's it called? A dragon? Did it say dragonfly? I think it shows a dragonfly. That's the doji candle we were just looking at on. What were we looking at? What was the stock we were looking at? Gold. Yeah, we were looking at gold. I put the link to the Candlestick Mastery calendar. It's totally a resource and a calendar. It includes the different candles. How do you use them? How do you see them? How do you trade them? How do you identify all the stuff? It's a whole resource, and it's a calendar, right? It's not a calendar first, then a thing about candles. It's a candlestick resource, and it also has a calendar. Also has calendar stuff in it. All righty. We were just talking about charting a little bit. And I know there's a lot of people who trade all the time who don't know anything about charting, or a little bit and enough to be dangerous. But if you're talking about being a long-time trader and a long-term successful trader and profitable trader, you definitely need to make sure that you're understanding how to chart. Okay? educatortotrader.com is a place where you can go ahead and chart your way, grab hold to come and be a part of Chart Your Way to 100K. Something that we're doing in the community as well as leaning in on our charting. So that way we can marry our strategies, because we can have strategies that you can use those all day, but if you can't chart, you got to be able to see. What if you get into a trade and the charts are starting to go crazy and you're like, is it going to turn back? What is this? You want to be able to have confidence that you can still see what's going on, and the charting is what's going to help you do that. All righty. All the strategies that we use, I was mentioning cash secure puts, covered calls, all of that. I have trainings for all those at my website if you're so interested in that. All righty. If you're looking for the freebies, you can also go get those E2T-freebies. Okay. I think I've covered what I was going to cover. Yep. Anybody got any questions in the comments? Anybody got any questions? I'm going to give you 3 or 4 minutes to ask a question, and then we're going to wrap the show. Who's got any questions? Q&A time. Q&A time. Q&A time. Nobody has a question? Oh, not a 1, not a 1, not a 2, 1, not a 3. Okay, make sure if you are here and you're hanging out with me, I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:45 on YouTube and all the places, right? Find me there. Go ahead and check in on the LinkedIn. I asked you about doing that, joining me on LinkedIn. Go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel, right? Do all that. I see Nina said, I'm just getting back into trading. Where should we start with your courses? Getting back into trading, I would suggest if you're just getting back into trading, I would suggest that you go to educator2trader.com and look for Options 411. Options 411 is basically an introduction to options. And it leads you into it as a seller, because I'm a seller coach. I'm an option seller coach. So it talks about how do we function as option sellers. And then it's a very basic course. It's $17. Yep, it's $17, and it's very it's a good introductory course. You can go there and check it out, and you can say, well, this is interested, or this is more than I'm interested in. I'd rather do blankety blank. And then after you looked at it or whatever, swing back around to me. Come back to me and say, I watched it. I'm interested in this. I'm not interested in this. I do like this, whatever your outcome is. Let me know. I may be able to guide you to the next thing. And the next thing may or may not be mine. I'm not one that I'm basically like, I can only point you to things that are in my arsenal, because you may decide you're really more interested in buying. And since I don't coach buying, doesn't mean I don't know another resource or another place that you can be, very well served as an option buyer. Or you may be somebody who I would rather just buy and hold stocks. I can maybe point you to somebody who does that. So, yeah, after you, watch that, swing back and talk to me, and we can talk about what's a good thing for you. Right. I was going to start putting this link in here, tradingstrategy4you.com. It's basically a little questionnaire, a quiz that tells you it helps you to see what is your the perfect strategy for your personality. Trading strategy for you. Then it says, I paid for but didn't finish it. Life is lifing. I understand that, but I need to buckle down and make some money. Well, that life comes at us fast. And I find that I've purchased far too many trainings and got partway through and okay, I'll swing back to this before I know it. Life is going on. Like I said, life is life, and then you're not back. But if if you're serious about it, swing back around to it, spin the block, as they say, and come on back around to it. The time is going to keep passing, whether or not we are moving forward with it or not. The time is going to keep going, and we want to make sure that we are maximizing it, because even though life is life, and there's too much going on for us not to be capitalizing on the situations. I'm on Mondays at 8:45. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm on YouTube, X, and Facebook at 8:45. Right. I'm on here live at 8:45 in the morning. I do have a call that I generally go on after that with those in my membership. When I'm available, we get on to a little Zoom call, get a little more, live trading with the folks. We do that. Definitely, you almost always on Monday. I'm not always on Wednesday, but almost always on Monday to start the week off right. We do that. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:45, I'm here on Zoom. I'm here on YouTube. All right. All righty. I'm going to wrap us up. Whoop, whoop. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do the thumbs up. All right. It was great hanging out with you all as usual. Be sure to pass the word. Tell your friends. You join the membership Telegram because you need to make sure that you're getting all the stuff. Sharon, you're missing out because I haven't seen your name, which means you're not linked in all the way. You gotta, what they say in those little network marketing groups, you got to get plugged in. You got to make sure you're plugged in because you're missing out on some stuff, and I don't want you missing out on anything. Anybody who's with me, I want to make sure that there's no man or no woman left behind. So make sure you check your emails and join the Telegram group because that's where all the stuff comes between Telegram groups and emails. I make sure you get all your links and stuff so you can join us. We'll be on Zoom in about 12 minutes. We'll be on our Zoom call. All right. Okay, everybody. I will see you in the market. If you're in the membership, I will see you in about 10 minutes over in the Zoom. All right. Goodbye, everyone. It was great hanging out. See you in the market. Let's stay green and let's get this.